right. Welcome to the No Hangover podcast. Like always, it's your boy. On the left of me, got Tony. On the far left of me, I got my boy Eric.
What it do?
Behind the mic, behind the camera, you already know. The heart and soul of this podcast, got my boy Dennis.
What's up, what's up?
And yeah, welcome to episode, 121 of the No Hangover podcast. As always, you can find us on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, YouTube for the visuals. Check us out on Google Play as well. Did almost forget that, but I didn't.
Who uses Google Play?
Who knows?
Android users.
But if you got an Android,
Nobody.
If you got an Android and you're not on YouTube, Google Play it is. For the merchandise, I mean, it's best to hit us up on Instagram, honestly, at No Hangover Podcast. But if you want to check out the website, www.nohangoverpodcast.com.
Yes,
You can get a shirt. You can get
Buy a shirt.
Yep, you can get bags, socks,
phone case.
Not sunglasses.
not sunglasses. I know Kristen was pushing for that. It's not there yet. It's just
In
not
the works.
Just not there. We're not that guy. But anyways, yeah, episode 121. We're excited to be back with y'all. Excited to have my boy Tony here.
Appreciate
And
y'all.
let's get into it.
Let's do this, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, to get things started, I mean, you guys can talk about how you two met because you guys met before we met. So, I mean, before, how'd that connection come about?
You want me to say it or
It
you?
don't matter, bro. So
you.
I'm a DJ. So we get that out of the way. My name's Tony. I'm DJ Tone Capone. I DJ around Central Florida. I'm a local DJ from Jacksonville to Miami. I'm all around. One day, though, Jacob happened to come into my gig over at the Porch in Winter Park, not far from here. Yeah, he pulled up on me. And it was almost at the end of the night, really. And I see this guy just come over. He's just standing there. And I was kind of like, I thought it was going to be a request. I thought it was some college kid. And I'm like, fuck.
I'm like, what the
I was
fuck
like,
is this guy?
give me a second. Give me a second. And I'd seen him holding something. So I was like looked at it. And he was just holding his card. So I just took it. And I looked at it. And it said no hangover on it. Caught my eye immediately. And I was like, all right.
Catchy name.
Good marketing.
It's a catchy name.
Good marketing for sure. And he was just like, hey, what's up? He introduced himself. And then he told me about the podcast. And then initially, I'm always involved in music because I DJ. I was already hooked because all I do on my other spare time when I'm not doing music is listen to podcasts and work on flyers or digital stuff or social media.
I'm a smart guy when it comes to marketing.
Yeah, it was genius. So he caught my eye really fast, caught my attention. And I was like, all right, well, I want to get back to you. So then at the end of the night, he was like dispersing. And you had your buddy, your lawyer friend, Jake, right?
Yep.
Jake? Yeah. And,
Shout out to Jake.
I actually was putting some equipment in the car and caught him out in the parking lot. I was like, yo, come back in. Let's talk. So then we talked, and I wanted to find out a little bit more, see how you guys or what you guys were up to and how y'all were doing it, and see about getting on there. And it's all been history. So then we met last week sometime.
Yeah.
It was a good time. We met to kind of introduce ourselves. I got to meet you for the first time. We went over just each other and what we're gonna be talking about. Man, it was I'm glad we got that out the way because to be honest, I was a little nervous at first. I was like, man, am I gonna go in there and vibe with these guys?
Yeah.
Which is
Are we gonna
100%
click it off?
natural.
But yeah, man. So I had listened to a few of y'all podcasts. And it came out. I was like, all right, man. I could definitely see myself chilling with these dudes and having good conversations. So, it worked out.
That's. I feel like that's the hardest part. Like initially, is like, especially if we're gonna have someone on that we haven't really, had like dealings with before or anything like that. It's kind of like, how are we gonna vibe with this person? How is the conversation gonna go? Are they gonna be able to, keep up with the conversation and shit like that? And like immediately through the group chat and the text, I'm like, this guy's enthusiasm is right there where we need that shit. So that shit was perfect. And then once we met, started having conversation, this shit started flowing naturally.
I'm not gonna lie,
like
this is
that.
how it went. This is me. This was Eric. This was Tony. I was like, yo, he's with the shits.
I mean, I could honestly tell the same thing, though. I was like, and then but looking into y'all podcast, I can see that y'all already over 100 episodes in.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, it isn't new to you guys.
Yeah.
It's just another day. But I was enthusiastic, but this is my first time doing somebody's podcast. But I've, like I told you guys I've interviewed for the radio station twice. I've tried getting on there. So it's something, broadcasting is something that I'm, it catches my interest. It's something I want to get into. Now, thankfully, we have today's day and age where you can put your content out on YouTube.
On your own.
Sure. And,
cut out the middleman.
Exactly. And now it's just how do you get yourself to that audience? How do you get yourself noticed? So
Yeah.
now that I got you guys, I got to pick your brains a little bit, see how you guys are
whole
doing
other
it.
platform.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's another thing. Networking with you guys, besides just a platform, but just seeing how you guys are doing it and, how I kind of put too much emphasis and thought into overdoing things.
Oh, I straight guerrilla market. So.
I see that. That works, bro.
That works for him. He has the personality to do that shit.
Yeah.
To just go up to people.
Which, I mean, for anyone who's watching the podcast who I've came up to before and who found out that way, like, it's never with ill intent. Like, when I'm approaching somebody, it's genuinely just to promote the podcast and then also for opportunities like Tony's has right now. I tell people all the time, if you ever want to be on, fucking let me know, DM us. And that's literally what Tony did. He saw a couple podcasts to see who we really
Real
were.
shit, honestly.
Because, you know, it's, you know, I'm a nobody when it comes to just meeting a random person, you know? They don't know me from shit. So you did the research. You saw a couple podcasts. We're like, oh, I kind of fuck with these dudes.
Yeah.
DM'd us. And then Eric talked to you straight off Instagram. I read the message as well because it comes to my phone too. I read the message, and by then we were already in a group chat. So I was just like, yo.
Yeah.
Because I was at work when y'all were like talking and shit. So I was like, yo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really that
Good to
simple,
go.
though. Honestly, like if you see something, you want to do something, you gotta go fucking do it.
Yeah.
There's no fucking magic potion,
No.
no magic secret on how to do it. You gotta get out there and put in the fucking work, regardless if it's podcasting, if it's DJing, if it's this, if it's that. You
Life,
gotta go
period.
out there, life.
I
You gotta
feel
go
like-
out there and put the fucking work. So
I feel like that's the hallmark of our generation of like cutting out the middleman.
Yeah.
Like so many
100%.
generations before, you had to work and you had to get this.
Yeah, you
position
had,
at
you had to
this
know this
company.
guy to talk to this guy.
Now it's just like
I'm gonna go to that
everyone's
fucking guy.
attainable. You can DM any famous person you want,
Yeah.
whether they respond or not.
Yeah.
Different story, but you
Correct.
can get in contact
Yeah.
with
anyone.
anybody in
Correct.
the world, and that's
It's a you know, some of them are up to chances. You know, you're DMing Drake, it might not work out. that
yeah,
way.
like he has to go
But
through there and check it, but
Correct.
you know that your message got there.
Yeah.
Like,
Correct.
Yep.
It's a crazy world we live in. Like no one is unaccessible, and it's just this little ass computer in our
not
hand.
even fucking.
And this big ass internet.
Wow.
To think, man, when the first computer was built, they had less computing power than
Bro,
these little
it filled up
iPhones.
fucking half
Yeah.
of that wall right there.
It's
Half.
half.
You could-
Half. Yeah, it filled up a whole room.
from like
bro.
the 70s, the first
Yeah.
computers, it was like a whole room. Yeah, it was.
Shit.
And now we have these.
Hey man, I built this
Yeah.
room kind of big.
In your fucking pocket, just chilling. You
It's
can
wild,
fucking
man.
communicate with anybody, get in contact with people halfway around the fucking world, fucking whatever. You can do anything.
Oh,
Steve
also-
Jobs did it right, man. He made the internet usable.
Yep.
It's in your
Yeah,
pocket.
man,
Boom.
for sure.
Also, a little side note. You know, if Jordan was here, he would tell you didn't build all of it. But this room we're in, this little studio, I built a majority. I'm gonna say 85% of it.
I told him that.
There's
I
a
said
couple
you built
of
that shit.
there's a couple of things I didn't do. Like I didn't fucking. My Uncle Frank put the fan in the light, so okay. I had James mud the walls and texture, and then I had a guy Raul paint, so I didn't do that. But besides the little shit, I did the floors.
I was gonna say
I
mudded
built this
walls.
shit. I hung the drywall. I framed it myself.
I was about to ask that. I was like, you framed this thing?
Yeah, I
bro?
framed it myself. Put the installation in myself. So
That's what's up.
You did construction before.
I did. Yeah, I've done mostly floor work. That's what I've done the most of. But I did a little bit of everything. My dad used to have own rental property as well, so I've done a little bit of framing. Not too good at drywall. Most drywall and flooring is probably what I've done the most of, and painting too. But painting,
I hate painting.
I don't mind it, bro. I put my
hate painting.
headphones on
Nah.
and I'll take
Just
my
go to
time.
town.
Yeah, man.
I think it's because it got ruined for me as a kid. I was forced to paint 18 buildings of
Oh.
a apartment complex,
Oh my god.
and I've
Seems
never
extensive.
wanted to paint.
What
again in
age
my
are we
life.
talking about?
Like I was like 11, 12 years old.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like 6.
Nah, not like a kid, but like I was young enough to be like, fuck this.
Still, 12
But-
years old,
but too
painting
young-
18 walls.
too
That
young
shit
to be
seems
like,
like
I
a
can't go
fucking
anywhere.
like.
12 is painting one house would be,
My
one
shoulders
building
were
would be
on
extreme.
fire.
Yeah.
And this was over. This wasn't one day. Like I was doing this for. This was like 2-3 weeks worth of painting.
Yeah, 18
every day. I would be out there for at least 8 hours, just fucking rolling everything. Fidel was cutting everything.
Oh yeah, that's the
Rough
most,
life, rough
to me,
life.
like rolling. If you're doing that for 3 weeks straight and doing the same thing, like anything you do
And the
over
same
and over
colors.
is like and the same
Just
fucking
white.
colors. Yo.
Nah, it was like a ugly
Fucking prison
ass
gray.
terracotta looking orange, and I was like, this is
Ew.
some bullshit.
Tedious.
Actually,
tedious as
nah, I
fuck.
lied. It was like 4 different colors, because then there was this green lime looking building, and I still to this day drive by the building and I'm like, fuck you.
It is weird. It is weird. Like living in Florida, all of our most of our lives, like you understand that it's hot outside. It is unrelenting how hot it is during the summer. Like you don't
It's crazy.
until you're working outside, you don't.
It's not
realize
even that it's that
how
hot.
warm it is.
It's more of the humidity for me
Yeah.
because I can deal with the hot.
Yeah, but that
and
to
the-
me, it all just goes into heat.
the
Like,
mugginess and shit of like 2 seconds outside and I need to already change my shirt type
Yeah.
shit. I already sweat like I'm 500 pounds anyways.
Yeah.
So that extra
I know y'all see it on the
90%,
podcast.
that 90%
These cameras are pretty
humidity
fucking good.
is
Like,
fucking,
I know y'all
it's
see that.
intense.
This
Yeah,
sweaty-
it's 96 degrees.
this sweaty
I'm already
bastard.
sweating through my shit.
It's
hot as fucking
96
here.
degrees and 90% humidity. You're just like, kill me.
I mean, it
now.
doesn't
Yeah,
help that
real
we're sipping
shit.
on some whiskey, so.
Nah, that definitely doesn't help.
Shout out to the catering event I did last night. I've been doing little catering events on the side. Gave me that bottle for the free.
doers.
Gave you?
They gave me it.
Oh, wow.
The bride's father. Specifically,
wedding?
Yeah, it was a wedding. It was a reception. Like they had the wedding somewhere else. All came there for the reception. And it was 2 different bars. It was a fucking fuckery of a setup, but whatever. ended up making some bank, and yeah, got a bottle out of it.
Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
Ain't nothing better than free either. And it's good. Dewar's is really good too. So
The fact he's like was looking for me to give me that, because like I took it I took that and 2 other bottles to his car, and he brought 2 of them back and was like, "No, you deserve this, man. You keep them."
You said bride's father?
The bride's father, yeah.
Well, he's already 20 grand in the hole. So.
oh yeah,
He didn't give
What's
a
a
shit.
bottle?
He didn't give a shit.
easily. My parents we had my sister's wedding last July, man, and my parents in the hole probably like 15 grand. 16
Yeah, bride's
grand.
fathers go through it.
Hey,
at
but
weddings.
I'm okay with that. So whenever
If that's the one thing
That's
that you,
that's your princess.
if
You know?
like my daughter, if that's the one like big thing, it's like house, car, my daughter's wedding, like whatever.
Yeah, but I don't want her back after that though. You better work like
Yeah,
you,
go into the
I-
groove. She's yours now.
yeah,
like,
straight up. Dude. Now, I'm
Forever.
not putting no
I
more
need
bills.
20 years at
When
least
I
out
walk
of
you
this
down
shit.
the aisle and give you away, I am giving you away.
Straight up. I mean,
I better be dead if she comes back. Like when I die, fuck it. But I better be dead.
I look forward to having kids or what?
I definitely do.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
fucking doubt.
I
Especially
definitely want my son first, though. 1,000%.
Yeah.
I've talked that into the universe so much. Like,
I don't care either one.
Yeah, I mean, if I have kids,
Oh, I
I don't
care.
care either
I
way,
care.
man. I toy with the idea whether I'm gonna have kids now
really.
or not. Yeah, I mean, like, to me, I don't really want to birth kids into this world where I'm going to struggle to provide for them.
well,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So like, even the uncertainty of what's going to happen or everything happening with this pandemic, you know, and like obviously my job, I was DJing for right before the pandemic. I had started like a year before that DJing full time, and then the pandemic happens, you know. And that, thankfully, we're in Florida, so you know everything
don't
is
give a
shut
fuck.
down too much. Yeah, but there was a couple
DeSantis
months.
said, "Fuck it, go outside, guys."
Daddy DeSantis, you know?
Yeah. I was just about to say that. His fucking memes are hilarious. Daddy DeSantis saving the world. There's one where it's like DeSantis dressed in a Superman fucking costume, and he like has a train, and there's like Floridians in front of him. He's just holding it back. It's hilarious, bro.
He doesn't care, man. He's
really
like,
doesn't.
I'm going to like
He's with the shits.
whatever happens, good or bad. This is not a statement on whether he was correct or not, but he was like, I am not going to let the economy be the reason that
Yeah.
Florida fails.
Correct.
For sure.
He was like, I'm
respect
giving y'all. It's on you. You either pretty much go to work.
Like he literally
That's what
said,
he's
if you die, like that sucks. But
It's like another one of those memes.
I
If
mean,
he
not to
does,
get
he
political or
does.
anything. My personal view is you should do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be able to.
You shouldn't be told what you have to
you
do.
should like you shouldn't be told that you can't go to work, can't provide,
freedom
can't
of
make a
choice.
living.
and he
you know what I'm
gives
saying?
businesses the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's not illegal for a business to require a mask. Like if you
Correct.
want to go to a certain business and they require a mask, like
Yeah.
It is what
he
it
gave,
is.
He gave everyone that option. He was like, I mean, I'm not going to tell you to die out here, but if you want to open and you don't feel like this is, you know, so crazy for your area or whatever, by all means, open. I'm not going to put you out of business. And that's what a lot of states did. They put, you know, especially small businesses.
California is hurting.
They
super
they
bad.
put people out of business over, you know, their government and over the laws. And it's like, I mean, I understand.
There's good and bad. They've saved more people. Like
Correct.
we've killed more people than they have.
I understand, you know, that aspect of it. Like, yeah, you got to look at it as like a give and take because, yes, there is going to be some bad out of it. Some people might die, and it is sad to say, but, like, it's a part of life. People live and die every
It's a
day.
circle of life.
So,
Yeah.
I
It's a
mean,
circle of
That's
life.
like, and to quote Joe Rogan, if you give 1 million people peanuts, some people are gonna die.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Some
It's
people
just
are
the way it
allergic to
is.
fucking
You know
peanuts.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Real
just
shit.
that's-
We're not
that's
trying to
life.
say, we're not trying to come off as callous, but it's just like
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's not even. It's just it is life, and we've talked about this before. That like how a lot of people are ultra extremely sensitive to death, and like don't even like. And maybe this is just a me thing. I know we've talked about it before, so it's like, but it's, you know, people don't even give it a thought during the day that like, hey, I'm driving down the road right now. There's a green light right here. I'm good to go, but somebody might not see that, T-bone me, and that's it. That's
I
that,
literally,
I'm done.
I literally had this moment happen the Friday before this last Friday, driving down to work. I-4 or
Especially on I-4.
I-4
Oh my God, especially
exit.
on I-4.
You especially.
Came through, just like had to slam on the brakes, and I was calm the entire time, and I just like sat there for a moment. And I was like,
Yeah.
that would have been it. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
there's,
Idiots.
I mean, we were both
That is.
going 80 plus. Like it's
Yeah, but
it's
and-
over.
But
like,
that's the fine line. That's how delicate shit is, and the fact that people don't like. I'm not saying like be morbid and be like, oh God, I'm gonna die right now, like all the, but like just like the thought process.
it might
of
make
and,
you
like,
respect life a little bit.
it
more.
does.
It
For
might
me,
make you
it
be.
should.
It might
It
make you
should.
be thankful for more,
Correct.
like
Be a-
full of life
be a
if
little
you're
more humble.
understanding that like it could happen. Like
Yeah.
For real, but I mean, and that
Humble
was kind
yourself.
of, we talked about it a little bit on the last podcast that we recorded, but you know, just the fact of like knowing that shit could happen, it makes you a little. Part of my New Year's resolution this year was to, I wanted to be a better brother, a better son, a better friend to the people that I love, and I feel like I did that this year.
You should be.
And that, just
quality guy right there.
Having
my brother.
The thoughts that go through my head sometimes, and just the things that I think about, and just taking life in as a whole, I feel like helped me do that. Yeah. It's like understanding how delicate this shit really is.
Yeah.
How one false move, 1 inch this way, life could be over. 1 inch that way, I'm going home. Just like, oh fuck you, and like pissed off at the guy next to me. But like,
sure.
It's really that delicate. But people take a lot of shit for granted nowadays. A lot of shit's handed out, given nowadays.
We've gotten real comfortable, man, because we can manipulate our environment to build houses, and we are hidden from the elements of nature. But life is chaotic, man. Constant life is actually chaotic. Constantly looking over your shoulder. Whether if we're talking about the animal kingdom,
pour you up or
we're talking about the animal kingdom. We're gonna hook it up too. All these apex predators are constantly on the hunt.
And we ain't shit.
And, lions that we're talking about. Yeah, we really ain't shit.
Humans are fucking slow.
You take it
weak,
to like the next
have
level.
no special fucking abilities.
You take it to the next level, like how scientists like them, like
we just have the mind. That's all we got.
Some people like Murphy's Law, like
that's all we got.
Is coming. Like whatever can happen will happen, type of thing. And
But that goes to show you how fucking powerful the mind is. That all these apex predators, a wolf, a lion, bears, all that shit, are stronger than us, faster than us.
I mean, I'm pretty strong.
But you ain't strong like a bear.
You ain't a bear strong.
You ain't strong like a bear.
That's me. It's 100% cap. I ain't shit.
But it goes to show that, like, for y'all
got your own ice and shit.
As great as all this shit is that we do together, I mean, we're our own biggest we fuck ourselves over the most.
No one kills humans more than humans.
Yeah.
We're top of the food chain for a reason.
Real shit.
But with being the top of the food chain comes ego. Like
I need to put some more doors in
we
there.
We have something other animals just don't have, like that
intelligence.
That constant need to be number one. That intelligence can screw you over. Like
that's true.
No shark thinks I'm going to be the king of the ocean.
What if it was though? What if he's swimming all around like miles and miles, hundreds of miles?
Then you get Jaws.
I'm gonna fuck these other sharks up, because that happens a lot with sharks.
You get Jaws or the Meg, like you get stuff like that, where you get where like stuff like that happens. But that's just not how they're wired. Dolphins are the most. I think I've seen a study. Like dolphins are the closest thing to our brains.
Yeah, the most advanced.
As far as marine animals.
Yes. I thought it was that in orcas, killer whales too.
Well, they are
very similar. Orcas are the only ones I know that have different accents.
Yeah.
Like how they speak. Like they have different
they know where they're at.
They have different dialects and accents depending on which part of the ocean they were from.
When they're by the Bronx.
Bing bong.
Yeah, you just see one floating in the Manhattan. Hey yo, fuck your life.
What do you want to tell Joe Byron right now?
What do you think of Joe Byron?
You know what's wild?
Oh, shit.
When I was young, like my dad, he used to live in Cocoa, so he would pick me and my sister up, every other weekend and shit. And we would have conversations like this. Like, imagine if cows were predators. Like, the grass was, the grass was running away from the cows and shit like that. Like, I'm gonna fucking eat you. And the grass is like, oh, fuck.
If a bull was a predator, like, we'd be screwed. If a bull understood how easily
they could fuck us up.
Now we have thumbs and we have weapons and technology, so we'd kill all the bulls if we absolutely had to. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if 2,000 years ago, bulls had figured this out that they could run the world, like, we'd be screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I like to think of animals like sitting behind desks, just as like.
Have you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Animal Farm?
No.
There's a good part in the movie where at the beginning of the movie, monkey pulls up a bone from a dinosaur or some dead animal and kills another monkey, and it's the first time that a tool is used, like in history, and it's like, oh, like this is the creation of
modern day tools
of technology, really, and it's of course it's for a weapon. It's because I want to be top of the mountain.
Correct.
Yeah, I had read a headline this was some months ago about doctors and scientists were observing some monkeys in a certain part of the world, and they were experienced them going through the Stone Age of them starting to use tools themselves to fish and hammers and stuff like that age. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah.
Literally, like 2001: Space Odyssey, Planet of the Apes. Like this is like a wide held belief among scientists, like, and that's why people believe. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but people believe that we come from monkeys. Like they are very similar. Like us, if you give them in a controlled environment, in a vacuum, they do what we do, and they look similar body type. Yes, they look closer to us than, let's say, a dolphin.
Distant cousins, but cousins nonetheless.
Yeah,
cousins nonetheless.
That's
I mean, there's similarities.
Shit, this is funny. If Jordan was here, I've literally convinced people me and Jordan are cousins.
I mean, I've had friends do that shit too. Yeah, it's my brother, you know what I mean? I'm like,
I mean, but what's a random person on the street gonna say? No, you're fucking not. Pull out a 23andMe. Spit in this cup real quick. We'll figure this out.
We're sending this to Ancestry right now.
Wait for 3 to 6 weeks.
We'll get results.
People think me and Eric are brothers or cousins sometimes.
I mean, bro, if my cousin, I got family down here from Pennsylvania right now. If y'all see my cousin, he looks more like you than he does like me and you look more in complexion, and like when my cousin
start hanging out with people enough, you start. It's like girls.
Nah,
you know how girls start their shit starts syncing up. You start fucking real shit. They start fucking. You start picking up fucking each other's lingo and shit. You start picking up mannerisms and shit.
I don't know how many times I've said bogan schmuns and schmuns because
hey, you said bogan schmuns and schmuns. You already know.
That's straight that guy. Well, yeah, nah. I literally used to feel like that. What's funny is like, for instance, Brandon, Matt, Jordan, you. Like most of my friends are taller than me. And what's funny as fuck is when I was younger, I was like, yeah, you hang out with taller people, I swear to God, you get taller. Because
it doesn't work like that.
Hey, it doesn't all the way, but like there would be some times like during the summer, I'd be like, damn, did I get taller? He's not as tall anymore. And I literally thought
not to get a deeper level, but you hang around like people who just hold themselves a certain type of way, like you kind of feel.
No,
working on your posture.
I mean, you ever saw like, I mean, my mom, this is like a classic fucking thing. She always used to tell me, show me your friends, I'll show you who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so like. The more you hang out with certain type of people and like
you're broke, you hang out with billionaires. I bet you get to $1 million quicker than most people.
Correct.
Oh, you will.
I mean, there's a bunch of like, I mean, I post about that stuff like business societies and like different business things that are like you hang out with 6 millionaires, you'll be the 7th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
you hang out with 6 broke people, you'll be the 7th. Like what you're around, what you're putting your mind towards, what you're in your everyday environment is gonna shape what you do, what you see.
It's also good to have a good perspective of both.
Correct. I believe that as well. Like you should be, humbled in a sense to where you know where you came from.
What it took to get here.
But as like the quote says, like you hang around certain people, you will get to a certain level.
It's super true though, man. When I was selling insurance, they used to tell us the same thing, man. And they would also say your bank account is the sum of or an average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. And I'd look at my bank account and be like, "Oh shit!"
No wonder that shit's hurting.
That's why
Jacob,
I started hanging out by myself. I was like, it can't be a sum if I'm by myself all the time.
If anything,
there's no average motherfucker.
If anything, I bring y'all's average down.
Find a shortcut in that shit. The loop.
Speaking of, bro, I went to Hard Rock when I was in South Florida the other day. I'm gonna pull some money out the ATM. The motherfuckers plastered my motherfucking balance right on the screen.
They don't care. They do not care.
Goddamn,
how was that, by the way?
Hard Rock?
No, just going. Yeah, I know you talked about going down to Miami and shit like that.
Oh man, so yeah, I just went out there for my homies. He graduated with his master's from FAU, and it was a good time though, man. We just went out there. It worked out because I actually had a Halloween gig I did down there, and I left a couple pieces of equipment I needed for next month. Though I don't really need them right now, but I didn't want to just drive down there and drive back. If anybody knows Florida like that, when it's 3.5 hours,
that drive's not
fun.
You can do it, but it's not fun.
Anytime you got to drive just for no reason, you're like, fuck.
And then drive back. Yeah, to pick something up and come back. It sucks. So I just went down there, hung out. We got a hotel. I got a hotel somewhere in Fort Myers and went to Hard Rock. Went to a couple nice dinners. They didn't have enough tickets for the graduation because the whole pandemic thing. There was limited tickets, so I didn't go to the graduation. I just went and worked on some flyers and ate at a restaurant while they did the graduation. And we went back.
Sorry if you already said. Where did you graduate from?
FAU.
Oh.
Yeah. With his master's, it was MBA. So
nice.
Yeah, man, he's doing good. I'm glad to see where it takes him. He had a good job. He actually is leaving that position because they changed the pay structure. I'm sorry if I'm saying too much, but he's leaving that bitch anyway.
We don't have that many views yet anyway.
It's whatever.
I don't think it's gonna impact.
What the fuck, bro? Why you putting my business out there?
You didn't put his government out. You're good.
He's literally Monday. He's quitting. He's putting in his 2 weeks, but he's like I'm expecting him to just walk me out.
You said Monday he's quitting.
His job.
Yeah, you're good. You can say whatever you want.
His job list and stuff.
How dare you fucking?
He's gone by this point.
You're fucking fired.
He's getting a position with a startup company where there's more opportunity, and then hopefully I'm trying to give him a career to manage. So we've already talked about that with him. I mean, if I give him a career to manage, and then he could just manage my career, and I could. And his wife is a lawyer too. His fiance is a lawyer, so she'll be my entertainment lawyer.
Oh, nice.
As well.
Well, going off of that, you said you started in construction. How was it that you went from construction to DJing?
All right, so like I DJed my whole life, man. Like my dad was a DJ. He's DJ in New York. and he
your
DJ'd in
dad's DJ name?
DC. Yeah,
Just out of
just
curiosity.
DJ George. He's
DJ
fucking
George.
lame as fuck.
DJ George in the
My
mix.
dad is lame as shit.
Blah, 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 blah.
But when he picked his DJ name, there probably weren't.
There was
that
no
many.
DJ
wasn't,
George.
Nah, there
He was
wasn't.
the
No,
first one.
there was like Larry Levine and like it was like the 70s, 80s. So it was
Yeah.
before
This is
like.
like DJing was like starting up.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yes, it had been around, but not like that, and that's why
Right.
my dad comes from the era. It was like I had to teach myself scratching because my dad doesn't scratch. He's not a scratch DJ. My dad's a mixer. You know, he
Yeah.
grew up
Oh.
in the disco, jazz, shit like that, where they just
Yeah.
mix
Yeah.
music,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. Seamlessly blend, which is I'm glad it's gave me a great foundation for DJing.
That's low key harder than.
Arguably, once you understand music, it's really easy.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Once you understand the structure of the music, it's simple as fuck. But if you don't know what you're doing and you're just winging it, then yeah, it's gonna be difficult as fuck.
Yeah.
Then it's easier to
most
use
things.
hip hop and just drop shit on the one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And just
yeah,
cut
yeah.
that shit in really fast. You know what I mean? It's easier that way. But when you understand music, I can mix house tracks or you know what I'm saying, all day. You know what I mean? And let them play for 4 or 5 minutes, chill with my boys, hang out. You know what I mean?
wait, I gotta change some shit real quick.
We'll put this one on. That's
Go
gonna
back
come
to
in.
fucking-
Oh, my highs are too, or my mids are coming in too high. Let me cut it out on this
Yeah.
track. You know, oh, let me cut this bass out on this time. It's just easier, you know. So, but that's understanding it and knowledge. So I got into DJing just like a few years ago, man. I really was in the restaurant industry and I did construction off and on because I like hated it, bro.
Yeah.
I hated construction.
I hated the restaurant industry.
Fucking hated it. Yeah.
I mean, those are two.
They build you though.
Those
I
are
think
two
you-
businesses, two industries that you can really go in and out of, and like
Yeah.
you could
I've
do
done-
shit on
I've
the
done
side.
both.
Because
I've
yeah,
done
we've
both.
all been there. I've worked in restaurants. My stepdad has a roofing company that I would work for here and there.
Yeah.
So,
Those two jobs I think make you like a person. Like
They build
everyone,
character.
you have
They
to do
build
one of the
character.
two.
They
as-
callous you for sure.
One of the two as a person for me to like trust you and like if I meet you in your like 20s or 30s, like
well, you're either a fucking really reliable, trustworthy person, or you're a fucking shitbag.
Or a piece of shit. Yeah.
In
That's how it goes.
construction?
Or
Yeah.
in restaurant work.
restaurant or
There is-
True that.
but
There is no in
you
between.
learn
I agree.
something about someone real quick on how they care about details in those two industries.
Yeah, for sure.
doubt.
Absolutely.
How
Absolutely.
they carry themselves, how they work.
Like,
how-
oh, you cut corners all the time. Like,
Yep.
that's just who you are
yeah,
as a
you can
person.
see it in their work. You can see it in their fucking work vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if like you've been around work trucks and like people's work trucks and shit. You could tell a lot by a person from their work truck.
Absolutely.
Like if your tools are somewhat organized or like you can get to the tools in
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
a normal fashion, by all means, you're probably a great person.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got people like, I'm not gonna say his name, someone who used to work for me, who I know you listen to this podcast. You dirty fucker, you. I love you to death.
Way
But
to call
God
his
bless.
ass out, shit.
You're dirty as fuck. He knows that too, though. I'd be like, yo, and he'd be like, I'm so tired. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like I wake up at 6 a.m. every day of my fucking life. Don't go to sleep till like probably most likely midnight. Depends on the day. Sometimes I pass out a little earlier, but either way, I get 6 hours of sleep. That's like my norm. Usually 5, I'm perfectly fine. If I get any more than 6, I'm usually groggy. Cause like, that's
Oh,
just the
well,
way
we
my
don't
body-
care about
More
you,
than 6 you're
Jacob.
groggy?
We care about him.
I'm just
If
talking.
you sleep more than 6, you're groggy?
Usually.
Oh, fuck that, dude. If I sleep under 7, I have it just weird. If I sleep under 7, I'm groggy. Over 7, I'm straight. I'm great. Over 8, I'm a new person. You know what I'm saying? I go on and take on the fucking world, dude. If I
Nah.
sleep that much. But I get like 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night. Yeah.
I sleep very
Lucky.
little.
Why, you don't sleep that much?
No.
How do you sleep?
He's like
I'm
me. He
always
sleeps.
interested.
Actually, he sleeps maybe less than me.
But I
Probably like
hate myself when I don't sleep that much.
4 hours, 5 hours a night.
Oh, fuck that, bro.
Yeah.
I would
Well,
not be functional.
That's how I am during the week. I'll usually try and get a nap in, so like it kind of
He's
averages.
a napper.
It averages out to like 6, but like the nighttime, like it's usually about 4 to 5 hours of sleep. And then if I get home on time, whatever, I'll go home, take a little hour nap, get a little power nap in, and then keep on going with my day and shit. But that shit is sleep is scarce around here.
Bro, I don't know how like you guys are a couple years younger than me, but I don't know how I ever functioned. Like I used to go party all night, maybe sleep, go to work the next day for 12 hours. You know what I'm saying?
We're at like the tail end of that
Yeah,
stage.
I can't do it no more. I can't even I hate it. I hate if I'm out too late and I can already sense that it's gonna be a late night. I'm like already start dreading it. I'm just like, fuck, why'd I show
That's
up?
irritating.
It also
You know?
depends on like how like hardcore that night up is, because we've had nights where we're like spending up till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but not a lot's going on.
Yeah.
Like it could be
How are
like
you live on both?
an
my
NBA
guy?
game is on, stuff like that. But it's different than going downtown and like mixing with people and then trying to get home, because
Yeah.
that's for some reason one feels way more tired.
Oh,
than
I
the
totally
other.
agree. I'm
Well,
to the
deal-
point where I don't want to do it at all, though. I don't want. If I got to be out late, I'm like,
You're working.
I'm good.
It's
Yeah,
when-
yeah.
it's when drinking-
Dealing with people, it fucking drains you. It doesn't matter if it's like in a good way or in a bad
It's
way.
when a
but,
lot of
like,
drinking is
emotionally,
involved.
fucking, it drains you because
Yeah.
you're having to fucking put in time, conversate, this, that, whatever. That shit
I could do that
drains you.
perfectly fine. The issue that arises is the amount of drinking that goes on.
Well, that's you.
Yeah, that's on you, buddy.
I feel that, bro.
You control.
I feel that, dude.
You control that.
I'm in these
I
environments, bro.
don't though. I mean, I would love to say I do control it, but like,
Then you have an issue.
nah, it's not. Well, maybe. Had this. But no, I'm talking about
Get
more
help.
of like what seek help. It's like
Stop.
Hey, this is
Get
where
help.
this is where our AA ad comes in. Get help.
Sponsorship. Here you go.
Sponsorship opportunity now.
Literally. Cheers, mate. Nah, I'm just kidding.
While we drink some doers.
But anyways, no. What the issue arises is like, for instance, on the nights we do like go out and like promote and shit. Those nights I'm usually not as drunk as I would get if I'm just wilding.
At the beginning, though. But listen, if we're going and then we go, because usually how it will go is that we'll start as soon as we park. It's like first person we see, we're going to attack them real quick. Go fucking
Every time.
talk, whatever.
Every time.
And then once we get to the first spot, whether it's a club, it's a bar, whatever the fuck, then the drinks start coming. All right, bet we'll go back out in the street, start talking a little bit. The second place is a make or break place. Is whether you're gonna get fucked up and like fuck the marketing shit, or if you're gonna have your little drinks, see if you can talk to anybody in there, and then hit the streets again.
Right.
I will say
This
though,
is where we lose this guy. It depends on the second place, because the second place is usually the club that we're going to, that he knows people.
Yeah,
He's over here
but I would
fucking
say
mingling and shit, which is not bad.
I would say me out of all
but-
people though stick to the marketing more than both of y'all.
Well, I haven't gone out in a little bit, so.
But like when it
I would argue that, Jay. What I would say, to give you credit, and I can't believe I'm doing this,
it hurts him. It truly hurts him.
That's lifelong friendship.
He's gonna need
right
a
there,
shot
guys.
after this.
Let's do it.
is whatever Jacob's in his mind, and he might not even say it out loud. Whatever is in Jacob's mind to do when he goes out, it might be contrary to what he's already said out loud, is going to get done.
Yeah.
If he is like made it up in his mind where he's like, I'm going to talk to 200 people, I'm going to communicate with this many people, I'm going to get X amount of followers, engagement, stuff like that, he'll go do that.
Yeah.
But if his mind is like, I mean, this is fun and I could go do that, or I could go sit.
Fuck around.
Yeah, I could go have fun. Then the second spot turns into, I'm going to sit here and have fun.
The priority. Yeah.
Yeah, but it like
Once you
thank
set your mind on it, though.
But yeah, like if I set my mind to it, if say I want, for example, because I'll be talking shit. Like
Jacob's a very stubborn person.
there's sometimes
in a good way.
There's sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna get little numbers. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get 10 followers or 10 people on different platforms, not just on Instagram, but like Spotify and SoundCloud, shit like that, and Apple Podcast. Like people to listen to us on different revenues or different
Venues.
different platforms, different venues. Then I'll literally do that. Like if I say it, I'm gonna do it. And like sometimes I used to talk shit to Eric and Jordan all the time. Like, how many you want tonight? How many? Like, especially if I'm drinking, because I'm already drunk, so I'm already like
confident.
He's starting to fucking loose.
I mean, I got confidence pouring, oozing out my pores regardless.
Yeah,
I don't need the liquid confidence, but when the liquid is there, it's just like that's more when I'm just kind of off the shits a little bit.
You don't give a
I need to
fuck.
tone it down, honestly. But
Nah, you don't. It works for you, bro. It's working.
it works for me,
Has
but
it got
like
you in trouble yet? Has it?
not drinking.
All right.
Not with the law. Hasn't gotten him in trouble with the law.
Not in trouble, he can't get out.
Yeah, not drinking at least.
You'll be all right, dude. You know,
So-
as long as it's getting you somewhere, bro. But
Yeah.
setting those goals and doing that little bit, it's so important, man. People don't realize is those little things to go back into how to get started DJing. It's just starting to do those little things. You know what I'm saying? To start, because I didn't think I could DJ.
It's the initiative.
Yeah. I didn't think I could DJ as growing up, even in my early 20s when I'm miserable at fucking work, switching from construction jobs to restaurant work. I was like, I didn't think I could do this. I looked at other DJs who were out spinning places, and I was like, this is what they do, and they're really good at it, and I can't get in the door. I would shut myself down before I'd even make take the initiative and to go out and do it. You know what I'm saying? So I would shut myself down until finally I was just like, what happened was like me and my ex had broken up. I was switching careers from doing a restaurant to getting my insurance license, and I had already had my insurance license, and it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was just not what I was expecting, and I was single. You know what I'm saying? I was like, why am I going to make myself miserable and doing a job that I don't want to fucking do? So like, honestly, if we're being completely honest, I was being honest with you guys last time. I actually I was in the process of getting appointed by health insurance providers to submit applications for them. And in the process, I actually got caught with weed. And the whole
Fucking
time,
weed,
fucking weed,
fucking
green devil.
DeSantis expunge the charges.
Fucking devil's
win.
lettuce.
Ron, this is your chance.
They shout you out the whole time.
Let's go, Daddy DeSantis. We got you.
I think he's gonna do it. To be honest, if it's federally allowed in a couple of years, not to cut you off, I'm going right back
you're
to
good.
it. But I think he is gonna be the
I
first.
hope so, man.
I think he's gonna be the first state that does
I hope so, man. It
Please.
needs to be, man. You know, and to do that, you
I
definitely
mean-
got my vote. 2024.
Peep the shirt. I've been seeing that.
Yeah,
shit.
you got that.
Hey, toke up.
Made of trees, bro. That's
Real
it, bro.
shit.
I'm definitely a smoker, though. You know, like I like drinking. I've gotten better. Like I didn't start drinking really until I was 21, but I'm definitely way more of a smoker than I am a drinker.
Real shit.
You know,
Real
I
shit.
smoke and I get creative. I create flyers. I'll start working on my music. I'll scratch for fucking hours, though. So
I feel like, and that's like for me at least. Like once I started, because I mean, like kind of going off of what we had talked about before. Like I'm literally in the same spot that you were at my age, and like when you told me that shit fucking resonated on
Little
a
fire
fucking,
under your ass, though?
It fucking.
Nah, I said it on the last podcast
deep
as well.
fucking level. I was like, shit, like.
Because no one had met you yet, and I was like, I've met future Eric. it was just
bro,
funny.
as corny as it sounds, though, bro, if I can do it, you can do it, bro.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's real
It's
shit.
one of those
you know? Like
same,
it's-
but different.
No, real shit. And like to your point though, it's like I'm in that same spot where it's like I see these people doing it, and like some of the bigger DJs that I follow and shit, it's just like they could just do it. Like that's just like what they do. Like there was no like backstory to it. There was no like, you know, struggle, like, you know, did construction, did restaurant working, doing this, doing that, working a job that they don't want to do and shit like that. To me, and for me especially, like I'll sit back and I'll listen to some of these interviews, like especially if it's an artist that I really like.
Yeah.
I'll sit back and like once they put out interviews and start popping and shit like that, I'll go back and listen to what they have to say about their own story and shit. And to me, it just doesn't, like, to me, it's still like, fuck, like they like of course they were supposed to do this. Like,
Yeah.
they're good as fuck. Why not them? Like, and it doesn't really hit me that it's like, well, I have that same type of dream. I have that same type of, you know, desire to do that. Let me do it. To me, it's just like, well, fuck, like I'm just a guy that likes music.
right. You
And
don't see yourself being able to do
Exactly.
it.
So I'm at that point, and especially like I said, like the other last week when we met up and shit, when you said that, I really like, all right, fuck, like it really is like I always, and like in the most part, you know it in your head, like it really is just a matter of just fucking doing
Doing
it.
to do, man. That's all it is.
It really
bro.
is, but like, you know, thinking it in your head and then putting it out on paper in reality is two different things.
Yep.
So like when I heard that, when you said that, I'm like, damn, it really is that simple. It really is, to the point where it's just like I am holding myself back. I am telling myself that like I know I can do this, but for whatever reason, when it comes from mind to like putting it in reality, for whatever reason, there's some disconnect there.
Yep. I mean,
And right now I'm in that process of, you know, I'm at a point where I'm transitioning. I feel like I told you before, I'm working this job that I've been here for, you know, a couple 2-3 years. I finally built that foundation for myself that I feel like I can take financial risk and it's not gonna fuck me over completely if it doesn't work out or whatever. So let me fucking do it.
Yeah.
And like, no cap, like hearing you say that shit the other day really like, all right, fuck, let's do it. Like, and it, you know,
Let's get this shit.
real shit.
You gotta
real
just try,
shit.
brother. And then, you know, like the older I was getting, I was realizing, man, if I really don't like try to make this happen and try to actually put some effort into trying to build a DJ career, I'm gonna look back when I'm 50, 60 years old and be like, I'd rather say I failed
Real shit.
and or I tried and I failed and I didn't try at all. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather say that I tried and I failed and I didn't try at all.
Because at the end of the day, like, you always have those things to fall back on. The insurance, for
Yep.
me, the landscaping, or fuck, I'm gonna do my personal training cert this year and shit like that. I have those things to fall back on. Not that it's not things that I don't enjoy doing or I can't see myself doing. It's not. It's
But you
not
need to,
the-
you
want
need to be
more for
able
you.
to jump with like not a safety net, but like a. All right, I don't want to like crash and burn if this goes
Right.
wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, not in, that too,
You gotta
but
let
in the
yourself.
sense of like, I just like,
You're young enough
to
to
your
build yourself
point, that
back
it's
up.
like, I don't want to
Gotta
look
try
back 10, 20, 30 years from now when I have my own kids, my own family, and they're coming at me with these same struggles, and me telling them, yeah, go do it, it's fine, and I didn't do it myself.
Yep. I tell you what, another big factor for me that made me really want to push it is like my mom would always tell me, especially when I really started doing it. Because my mom and my dad are together. They've been together as long as I've since before me. But
That's up to that. That's up to that.
since like I got to
Very fortunate.
Yeah, I mean, cheers to that. I appreciate them. They've gone through their shit. You know, my dad hasn't always been a good person, but you know they stuck it out. But my mom told me one day she's like she really regrets. Take a sip of this real fast.
Go ahead.
You know, my mom was young. At one time, my dad was a DJ.
At one time,
I don't see her anymore. This is old as fuck. You know? But she was young, and she was a young, jealous girl at one time. You know what I'm saying? So like, she would be upset that my dad would be going out and traveling to Seattle or traveling to Washington D.C. and DJing.
Damn, so he's getting gigs like that.
Yeah, well, yeah. My dad knows a few DJs who travel the world. Yeah, like he grew up with in New York. I actually put up his buddy Joe Clausel. If anybody wants to look this up, he has an album out. He has my dad's name in it. You know, giving him credit and shit because he's the one who sold my dad. My dad sold him his first turntables. You know what I'm saying? And hooked him up. So like, and he travels the world. He's producing music for Tony Braxton.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like that's probably the most notable person that I know. Yeah. And we could go through his catalog, and you know what I'm saying? He's a good dude. He's always telling my dad to tell my dad to tell me to produce music. Because that's what's going to take me further.
That's the ultimate goal for me.
But my mom was super jealous, and she like held him back from his career. And as she got older, and you kind of realize that all this shit is just temporary. You know what I'm saying? And your happiness is what's infinite. You know what I'm saying? Or finite, or your happiness is finite. But yeah, it's important, really. And then she was just like, I just wish your dad. I wish I would have stopped, not pushed your dad back from doing it, held him back from doing the DJing. Yeah. But my dad owned a record store in New Jersey too before we moved out. Yeah, he had a whole record store. I don't know if you are familiar, if you are from up north, or no, you are from here. If we talk,
I'm born and raised. I got family up there.
For freestyle music. You know, it's all sort of like there's a most notable is Stevie B, Spring Love. Yeah. That's freestyle music. You know, some people would call it like dance or like techno, but it's freestyle music. My dad used to have a bunch of freestyle artists that would come to his shop and do record signings and shit like that. So I met a bunch of freestyle artists.
Very cool.
My mom is actually in Puerto Rico. She grew up with Ricky Martin and the Menudos.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. My mom fucking loves Menudo.
I met Ricky Martin in New York before.
Really?
Yeah, because of my mom, and they used to come to her house and do dances and stuff with them, and So like and my mom's artistic as fuck. My mom's a painter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She's into music, my dad's music. So they're artists as well, but then they fall into their professions. So like as she got older, she just realized that she was beating herself up about holding my dad back from DJing. You know what I'm saying? They're not, as they get older and they realize, you know, things are because their kids move on.
Shit, you know, life is life, and you know, shit happens, and you know, and that's kind of, damn, I don't want to sound like a dick, but like that, you know.
Nah, say it, bro.
This, you know, this breakup that I've been going through has kind of like pushed me to that. It's like where like, man, like I don't want people holding me back to do what I want to do, and like, not that I don't fucking appreciate or love this person, but like at the same time, I'm at a point in my life where I need to do what is best for me. If you want to ride with me and you want to take this journey with me, please, and I will fucking welcome that shit with open arms. But if not, then I can't hold myself back because I've been doing it. I've been holding myself back long enough that I can't let anybody else do it at this point.
Big facts,
to spin this in a positive light, maybe that breakup is what needed to push you forward.
Boom. I think for
people
me,
come into your life for reasons, man.
But I still love you, baby. So
that's real.
People come into your life for reasons.
Real shit.
It's not like
there's a future in you.
Nah, that's a certified lover boy.
Just because something ends bad does not mean that
it's not even that
it was a bad experience.
Yeah. That's
somebody might have been just a moment in time that needed to push you to a certain spot. People come and go in your life, and that doesn't mean that person's gone forever. It doesn't mean that person is a bad person.
That's the hope. That's the hope that they're not gone forever. But it is what it is right now.
It just means that like
a couple situations in my life.
I truly believe that people are put in your life for reasons. And not everyone is put in like is going to affect your life,
or it's going to be.
But there are moments that pass your life, and you can choose to grab onto those person and get what they're meant for, and or just let them go. And
some people you hold on too long. And
I agree with that.
I already learned this lesson. Get off me. You fucking leech.
But at that point, that's toxic.
But going back to what you were just talking about, is there like a leap of faith moment that you can point to? Like, is there a certain show that went really well, or a certain gig that you were like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah, I could actually, if y'all go to check me out on Instagram, it's DJ Tone Capone. Easily, that's typically all my social medias except for Twitter. It's DJ_Tone Capone. My bad for the shameless plug. But like, yeah, it's
not shameless at all.
I was gonna tell you to plug up regardless.
Use this.
But honestly, it was homecoming weekend for Stetson and DeLand when I did the whole weekend from Thursday to Saturday, and it was, live every night, and I had a blind down the block. The whole thing was packed. There's a video on my Instagram it's like 2019, and I was like, damn, it was just the feeling that you get from just captivating the crowd and having them under your control is just, it's
I've got you now, bitches.
It's so dope, man. It's just a good
strings,
feeling.
pulling the
Exactly.
strings.
You like you feel like a puppeteer like Jeff Dunham. You know, like
There's very few professions where you like literally hold like the how people feel in their moment of life in their hands like that.
Yeah.
And like I've heard like athletes talk about this. I remember CC Sabathia talked about this when he went on the shop with LeBron.
Pitcher. He was a pitcher.
Pitcher for the New York Yankees. Yep. He's like there's nothing going to replace that feeling when I walk on the mound inning 1 and 60,000 people are watching me and this show doesn't start until I release the ball from my hand.
Yeah, man.
Like nothing happens in today's game. Everyone is waiting for me to let this ball go. Like there's very few professions that.
It's a great feeling, man. I tell you that. Like I never like honestly, and I've told you I had like full sales photographers and videographers come out and film me and do like promo videos, and I don't feel right in front. Like even now when we first started, I don't feel right in front of cameras. It doesn't feel like that's what I'm trying to do.
It doesn't
feel authentic. You know what I'm saying? Until you can make it authentic.
There's no
but I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, guys? But yeah, I really don't like it. I don't feel comfortable. It's not for me. I don't want to be in the limelight or anything, but I understand it's a necessary evil if this is what I want to do and I want to grow my career and 100%. Get to other places. You know, so that's why I continue to keep marketing, keep putting myself out there. As much as like, if you go back on my Instagram, look, I didn't post. You see months and months in between my posts. Like I didn't post shit. You know, now I try to post once a week. You know, if that or more than that. You know, try. I really should be posting once a day, but I fucking hate social media, so it ain't me.
I kind of feel like that's kind of been like an Achilles heel of mine too, because I'm not really someone that's like super, you know, in the public eye. I don't really want people knowing what the fuck's going on with me unless I want them to know what's going on with me and shit. Like I'm very, you know, I keep my circle of people around me and that's about it. I don't really feel the need to like post all this shit. So doing this podcast and shit like that was like, for me, and I mean, up until this point too, it's been a learning and a growing process because I've not, you know, I don't like putting my business out there, but it's kind of opened me up in the sense where it's like you said, it's a necessary evil. Mm-hmm. You have to be okay with, you know, people coming up to you, videos, this, promoting yourself, all this other shit. And I just like, when we first started the podcast, it was like, I just want this to grow naturally. I just want it, but like, it is very rare that shit is going to happen. It is very rare that this shit is just going to fucking pop on its own and just fucking do everything on its own. Like you have to, you know, promote your posts on Instagram. You have to go out and talk to people and you have to fucking, you know, kind of make yourself the center of attention. Yep. And that's never really been my personality. So I feel like doing this podcast has helped me grow in that aspect to then attack other things in my life that I want to accomplish.
And that's how you got to look at it too, man. It's definitely helping. Anything that helps you grow is going to be uncomfortable at first.
Yes, sir.
This wasn't comfortable to me. Doing it was not comfortable. You know, there's nights when I started DJing for crowds where I fuck shit up, and I could tell you right now, when I first started, I knew how to mix. I had a good bass, but like one time I got drunk, dude, and I like in the middle of fucking Young Ma's "Ooh" song, which you call her Stephanie, I literally restarted it. And then, like, I hit the button to go all the way back to the beginning, you know? So, like, they didn't even get to say, you call her Heffa. Like, everybody said, you call her dude. And then it went back to the beginning. It's like, everybody looked at me. I was like, fuck. You know? I initially went into, like, my body just fucking flashed of, like, hotness. I started sweating.
There's nothing worse than that feeling.
But then you learn your little tips and, you know, just get better at it. You know, it's like telling you to put that 10,000 hours in to become a master at what you do. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't even think I've reached that 10,000 hours, you know?
We haven't yet.
Like, I don't think I have, you know? And it's just like... Because I still don't do things seamlessly. Like there's things I was like, oh, I forgot I could do this. You know, to me, if you put in those 10,000 hours, you know, there's no.
I think that's a good sign, though. I think even the guy who's put in the 10,000 hours, like they push to be better. Like,
you should always.
When you get to that point where like, all right, I'm really good at what I do. Like I can kind of relax here. Is when you get complacent.
Correct.
Or you get creative though.
Things fall.
Yo, you're completely right. Or you get creative though, and you start trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about like DJs like Crazeroni, A-Craze, or not A-Craze, but Craze or Qbert. Like they're just like, they create their own style of scratching. You know, they got so good that they created their own styles and sounds of
and
scratching.
They're pushing for better and better.
Exactly.
Now, like.
So you start changing the envelope and reinventing the wheels. And now people are trying to sound like them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, that's just go to DJ, not everything, but you should never get comfortable though. You start getting comfortable, you start getting complacent. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like,
move on to something else then.
Yeah. There is growth in being uncomfortable.
I fully agree with that. I like to live uncomfortably.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
me too.
like to be comfortable.
That's the LeBron quote, right? He goes, "I like being comfortable with uncomfortable."
He's comfortable as fuck, though. Let's be honest.
Oh shit!
I think he does challenge himself, though.
Absolutely,
but he has to create challenges for himself at this point.
Well, Michael Jordan was like Clyde Drexler. Like he created these enemies.
I don't think LeBron does that though. Michael Jordan does. I don't think LeBron does that.
I don't know.
LeBron has more of a real people who dislike him complex.
Yeah, at Jordan's peak, everybody loved him.
He had to create.
Yeah, I don't feel like there was really
You're
ever
right.
a point where Michael Jordan was hated at the point at the level that LeBron is.
At the level, no. The most hate.
There was hate.
The
but
most hate he ever got was 91 because it's like you've won 3 MVPs, 3 scoring titles.
3 titles at that. Oh,
No,
he was working
before he'd won a first one. It's like, are you gonna win a title yet?
Oh, I guess that is 91.
Like,
you're right.
you're so
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
You're the
you're
best player in the league.
Knicks fans hated him forever.
Oh, they fucking
But that's
hated his guts.
he thrives off that though. All athletes thrive off of walking
Hate.
into some place.
Correct.
Just a group of people hating you.
Bro, when you go away and you're not at your home base and everyone's booing you, that shit is fucking exhilarating. It is a fucking.
It's a great feeling to
Give me
walk into
fucking
the-
more,
like,
please.
Say less.
Yeah.
That's why Trae Young, like, there's just certain guys have that.
Fuck Trae Young.
Like Trae Young is so great for
That
that
shit was
because
fucking
he's
hilarious.
he walked into literally post COVID, the MSG opened it up, 60,000 people are chanting, and he was just like,
Give me more.
bring it on,
Give me more.
I want this. Like,
All right, so I got a serious, not serious, but so this leads to conversation. So I'm sure y'all seen The Last Dance. Everybody's seen it. All right.
Yeah.
So
A little bit early.
What do we think about Michael Jordan if he was 20 years later? If he was in LeBron's era?
he'd be if LeBron didn't exist, or if he's
If LeBron didn't exist,
He'd
let's
be
take
number
Michael
2
Jordan.
to
He's
LeBron
just-
like he is right now.
Yeah, but that's if LeBron didn't exist. Though,
You're-
with the social, what I'm getting at with the social media aspect.
So if
because
no
obviously
LeBron-
he left the NBA. One, because his father died. He was going through this with the whole baseball thing. I don't think Michael Jordan is the same Jordan in today's day and age.
we compare him against somebody else.
Yeah.
So you're talking about if there's no LeBron.
Yeah, I'm talking about just eliminate LeBron from the picture. Michael Jordan, if we're talking about the 90s teams were implanted into today's day and age. So,
Then he's compared to Kareem, like how he was.
but I'm talking about the
Wilt.
social media aspect.
I
though,
think-
because
He's LeBron. I think Michael Jordan. I think the greats are all kind of wired the same.
That
Like
makes sense.
Tom Brady, like those guys, like
Tom Brady, though, was kind of late with the social media. Although he was 10, 12 years into his career by the time social media came around.
Tom Brady's also different because he didn't come in the league thinking everyone thought he was.
Let me
Yeah.
remind you, we're talking about the same Michael Jordan who literally would not do another Sports Illustrated article because they put out a bad article about him without his permission.
And that's the thing.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the
I
thing
don't
that
think he lasted in the social media era.
You're saying
I
he's
think-
Kyrie? He just
Yeah,
runs away
exactly.
and hides.
Yes.
The original
I don't
Kyrie.
I don't know. I don't know
Kyrie
about
West.
that. I don't know about that because the type of drive that Michael Jordan had.
He
at
wanted
that
to
time,
win. He wanted to win titles. He wanted to be great.
I don't feel like for as great as I think Kyrie Irving is as a talent, mentally I don't think he has it. I think Michael Jordan has it mentally.
Michael's more
I
Kobe.
think he did too 20 years ago. Kobe was just at the tail end of the social media era too, though.
But I feel like Kobe, he was, but then when the social
Or at the
media
beginning,
started
I'm
coming
That's-
around,
yeah.
he definitely capitalized on that shit.
Yeah.
He saw it as opportunities, like the Black Mamba stuff, all that.
Detail.
He saw it as an opportunity to seize it and make more money. But it was also at the tail end of his career. If it's in the first 2-3 years of his career, I don't know how he handles it. But I feel like, to your point, the great players are. Great people in general are wired in a certain way.
I agree.
That
I
they
totally
are
agree with
going to fucking. It doesn't matter what's in their way, what they're gonna
what
do,
adversity
what
they
it
face.
is.
You drop
They-
Mike in any era, he's Michael Jordan. You drop LeBron in any era, he's LeBron James.
Facts.
Interesting.
I believe
I
it.
think the
Six
world
man
around.
freight train.
I think they impact the world around them more than the world around them impacts them.
That's
But
a
to that
great way to
point,
say
though,
it,
to that point, though, LeBron James is the greatest NBA basketball player of all time. I don't care what the fuck anybody says.
Damn.
Don't at me,
Analytics
bitch.
say
Damn.
he is not.
Analytics
Say that he is. Because what do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
His numbers are fucking
His
gonna blow
numbers-
Michael Jordan.
his numbers are still
and that is
3 and
analytics.
6.
That's not analytics. That is a fucking record.
That's
That's
one
a team record.
number.
That's a team record.
His
People
team
forget
record is
that. People
AS.
forget that is a
It's
team
caca.
record. That is a
You
team
know
record.
he won a 4th title, right?
Well, what did I say? 3 and 6.
You know he beat your
4 and
team in the
6.
finals.
He did. Fucking asshole.
All right, well, okay. Then there you go.
Well, he helped me get 2, so I can't be too mad at him.
All
But
right then.
He
Still.
doubled up Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
fuck him.
Dwayne Wade wasn't getting any more without him. LeBron James
LeBron
was
was not getting one without D Wade.
He got one without
fuck off.
D-Wade.
Let's not.
Yeah.
He got 2 without
After.
Wade.
Let's not. Oh my
After
god.
the fact.
We're about to get this man.
I see that. Y'all are about to
He's a fucking diehard Miami Heat fan, and good for him. I respect it. The fandom
fan
and
of
shit
your
like
team,
that.
yeah.
But you also got to be realistic. Like in basketball, I'm a
realistic.
Magic fan. I understand that we fucking suck. We're probably going to suck for another 3-4 years.
This team might be the worst team in Orlando Magic.
Yeah, but we have so many young pieces that I see I'm looking in the future. I'm seeing the bigger picture of this shit.
Hey, bro, you should try to get a job with their front office, bro. That's because that's obviously all they look at.
They need some fucking help. So you might as well.
Wendell Carter's their best player, bro.
No, fucking Franz Wagner, whatever the fuck his name is.
Franz Wagner's brother.
So what is? Yeah, Franz Wagner is the dude on the Magic. No,
They're both on the Magic.
Yeah.
well then
Both
he's
brothers.
the better one. The younger one's better, and Jalen
The
Suggs,
younger
although
one
he's
is
hurt.
better for sure.
Jalen Suggs, although he's hurt.
And
I don't know his name,
Who
but
cares about the other
game
one?
I went to.
No, Franz is the bad one.
Are you sure?
He's the
It shows
center.
how much.
No, it's Mo
how much
Wagner's
of-
his brother. Franz is the
See?
good one.
See,
Mo
okay, so
Wagner's the brother.
I am a good Magic
Franz
fan. I'm about
is
to go to a
pretty
game
fucking
in the
good.
next year, so.
I went to a game this year.
The game I went to, they were like
They
what,
won, didn't
five?
they?
Yeah, they did.
So
They beat
I went
the
to a
Nuggets.
Celtics game.
Boom.
They did not win.
Dubs.
Jalen Brown dropped 40.
Jalen Brown is also very underrated. I will say that. He is extremely underrated, in my opinion.
But anyway, going back to the original conversation. If you're great, you're just going to be great no matter what. Like,
Yeah. I do like your input on that and how you brought it all back together. No matter what era you drop them in, they're gonna be the same. But I don't know,
players
man. It's
figure it
just to me, it's hard to say, dude. If, like watching that documentary is obviously Michael Jordan was kind of safe in his own bubble because he didn't have to deal with outside. And when it did happen, was dad dying. You know, unfortunately, that's a terrible situation to speak about, but he ran to fucking baseball. You know what I'm saying? He starts catching heat from Sports Illustrated and saying some stuff about him. He's very spiteful too and very petty. He never does an article for them again.
But that's
You know
what drove him to be great.
He is very.
drove him to be great.
He's very. Yeah, I don't know what the word is.
Petty. Petty
as fuck,
is
yeah.
the word.
Petty
Petty,
as
is the
fuck.
word.
People point to that because like he only agreed to do the documentary during the Cleveland Cavaliers parade in 2016. He literally was like, "All right, people are saying this guy's the best." Like,
Because he is.
That's dirty. Yo.
that's when he agreed. That's when he signed the contract. He's like, "All right, like let's
Let's put something out.
let's clear this
bro.
narrative up real quick."
And it also did help him that The Last Dance dropped during the pandemic. There's no other sports. And, there's nothing else to talk about.
There was not a bigger winner during the pandemic than those two guys. Then that's why they'll always be compared to each other. Like 20 years after he retires, he's the biggest documentary going in sports.
That shit was crazy.
The world is in a national pandemic and can't go outside, and anybody cares about
Let's reminisce.
Anybody cares about after I'm saying like once sport resume is the Lakers winning in a bubble in Orlando. Like everyone
Shout out to the O-Town.
everyone just wants to watch LeBron James
bad.
win another one. Like those two, of course, are going to be like.
I mean, the Heat were in it, but too bad.
Yeah, too
Good
bad
old
they fucking
and all the
suck.
conversation around it, like it was after
Better than your
Kobe
team.
passed, like
bitch.
Fair enough.
yeah.
just
I mean, I like to think that Michael Jordan would be the same person because I'm a Michael fan. I was born in '90, so I'd seen him a little bit growing up, but. I don't know, man. I just think it's a whole different day.
It is a whole, social media brings a whole different element.
I'm more
to
of a
it.
Michael fan than he is.
I'm a Michael fan.
You're a Michael fan.
You're a
I just
Michael
think-
hater.
I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater.
Horse shit.
But the only thing that anybody can ever bring up that he did better than is a team aspect.
He
Was
played
the
defense
championship.
better.
I mean,
Yeah, for
granted,
sure. For sure,
granted
you can't
LeBron,
argue that, yeah.
he
LeBron
was a
can
better
guard all
shot.
five
LeBron's
positions.
individual defense, like on a possession, might be better.
He can guard all 5 positions.
Right. So I'm saying individually on a possession, but Mike took the initiative to do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'll
He-
give you that.
I would say Michael's a better scorer.
He's a better
And,
shot blocker. He's a better
well,
defender.
D Wade is the best shot blocker in
That's
guard
not-
history.
We don't have D-Wade in the
shut the fuck
conversation
up.
with
he
the greatest of all time.
doesn't hold. Yeah, he don't hold a candle to any of these guys.
He's
so let's-
arguably the third best shooting guard, and he can stay
It's
there.
not arguably. It's fact.
James Harden is really.
James Harden can shut the fuck up. Get the fuck
Hey,
out of here.
James Harden has an
I would say
AI
MVP.
does not have shit.
He took a fucking trash ass team to the finals.
Oh, did and D Wade fucking
Had
won the Finals
Shaq.
MVP.
Not saying
Please, thank
that was a trash.
Thank you.
I'm not.
Thank
I'm saying
you.
he won MVP. So fuck off.
Dwayne Wade did not win MVP.
He won
He
the
won Finals MVP.
Finals MVP.
James Harden won a MVP.
That's cool. Has he ever even, besides OKC, he's never made the finals again. So
Yeah, but he also didn't have a LeBron
He also had to
James
go through the
fucking-
Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah.
don't want to hear it.
It is.
Don't wanna
I do fucking respect your fandom though. You will not fucking bow
Nope.
down against any Miami.
James Harden is a
Refuse.
better player than Dwayne Wade, and people will see
Horse
this one day.
shit.
Dwayne Wade's your favorite player?
Of course.
I mean, he's a great player. But
He is a great
can we
player.
admit that's a little bit attached to because you're a Miami fan? Can
No.
we? No.
Fucking,
Fuck that.
see what
James
you see
Harden-
what we gotta
hey,
do?
hey,
You see what we gotta deal
the
with?
first year that fucking fouls are like letting people play through shit. What is James Harden's numbers doing? Plummeting.
He's not plummeting.
They fucking
They took
plummeted.
a plummet, but
what
now
are you
he's
talking
on
about?
his way
He's back.
up.
He's back
He's
up.
on
If
his
he
way
didn't have
back up.
COVID,
Because he's like, oh, fuck, hold on, let me play for real now. His whole game was about getting to the fucking free throw line.
that's not his whole game.
That was literally
It was
his
a
entire
majority
game.
of his game.
It's
though.
not even a majority of his
That
game.
was the majority of his
He
game.
hits 6 free throws a game, which is like, and he shoots a good percentage. So 6 points per game came off free throws. But what James Harden does better than anybody else
His draws fouls.
is shoot threes and finish in contact.
No, the best shooter of
He
threes
manipulates
is
the refs.
Steph Curry. So, whole different conversation.
I'm saying what James Harden does best, not what James
Step
Harden
back.
does better than anybody else.
Step back threes.
I see what
Either
you're
way,
saying.
All right,
James
but
Harden-
With the best
What-
parts of
what-
James
what he
Harden.
does
team.
best.
James Harden still, like, he wouldn't even be in my top 5 of shooting guards.
What?
Oh my gosh, that's a little
No.
disrespect. Who's okay?
5
so
shooting guards have not even won MVP.
Who?
Okay.
So Michael, Kobe,
Maybe, I don't know.
D Wade, AI. You got Clyde Drexler.
AI is not better than James Harden.
I got
Okay,
fucking
well, I'm
Klay
just talking-
Thompson over fucking.
Oh,
You have Klay
Lord
Thompson.
have mercy.
Klay Thompson has never been the best player on his team.
All right, the guy has 60 points off 11 dribbles.
Who gives a shit? 'Cause
Okay,
you can
people
catch
are
and
double
shoot.
teaming Steph.
Shit's wild.
Of course,
What?
yeah, it is
That's the
wild.
only stat
but
you've
one
ever heard
fu-
that's
but
wild.
one fucking instance.
So
does not
Wilt's
make
the
you a
greatest
great
player-
On paper,
So
though.
Wilt's the
He's-
greatest
it's
player
not
of all
on paper,
time.
But when you just talking about catch and shoot, it's not the
Yeah,
same. you know?
like
You
you know,
look
Wilt's
at
the
the
greatest
stats on
player
paper,
of all
like, holy
time because
shit.
he had 100 points.
there you go.
Boom.
Boom. There you go.
Wilt,
Wilt's the greatest player of all time. 'cause
he also
scored
has like
100.
what 11 rings.
No,
that's
Wilt
a-
only has
that's
2
a
rings.
Bill
Oh, that
Russell.
Bill, that Bill. Yeah, that's right.
Wilt
That's
only
right,
has 2 rings.
That's what it is.
And that's, I mean, kind of a little off top. Before,
Lakers and
because I got a
Philly.
question. But like, if we're going off the ring conversation, then Bill Russell's the greatest player of all time. Robert Horry is a better player than LeBron James and Michael
Robert
Jordan
Horry,
because he has
bro.
7 rings. If we're going to use that
The
argument,
greatest player of all time is LeBron James. Number 2 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 3 is Michael Jordan.
boom.
I'll still say Michael's the better scorer.
You heard it here
Other-
first.
Michael Jordan is the
players.
best scorer of all time. There's not a doubt.
Better. He's KD might be.
No, Michael Jordan is the best
KD.
scorer.
KD might.
KD is the most efficient scorer. Of all
KD
time.
might. By the end of his career, he might be. He might be up there, and he
He's
might
not-
be
he's
challenging.
not-
He has no
Prescott.
chance to
Nah.
match to get the record though.
He's not as.
What record?
The scoring record.
Yeah, he's
That's
not,
fine, but-
he doesn't have a good pace right now.
But
to
he's
match
also
even
missed
Michael's.
seasons, though. He's missed
He
too many
has.
seasons. But as far as like a scorer,
He is
like,
the most. He might be the most efficient ever.
He is.
He's a
I think
7
him
footer-
and Steph.
he's a
are
7
the
footer-
most efficient.
He's
Him,
a
Steph, and
7
James
footer
Harden
with
are
a
the most
ratchet,
efficient players
bro.
of all time.
It's ridiculous.
James Harden is the most efficient player
Fair
of all
enough.
time.
Fair enough.
But no,
1 year. 1 year.
analytics wise, it's not even close.
1
James
year.
Harden is the most efficient scorer
1 year.
of all time.
1 year.
Fuck analytics. Anyways, I got a question for you. How
What's
did you
up?
come up with the name Tony Capone?
Bro, it's funny because we had almost talked about that before. I was like, we're gonna save that. So that's actually was my Xbox name from when I was like 12.
Nice.
It was like Tony Capone, you know. And I was like, one day I was like, I used to be like really obsessed with like mob movies.
Yeah.
You know, like Scarface, fucking.
Oh.
Yeah, it's exactly where I came from. Yeah, so at this time I was actually playing. I don't know if y'all remember for Xbox they had the Godfather game that came out for a little bit. Yeah. So I was like hooked on that shit, and my name on there was Tone Capone. So as like it carried over to my Xbox Online name to then when I moved from Xbox to PlayStation to my PlayStation Live name.
PlayStation's better. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I agree too.
At
but
the time, Xbox was better.
at the time though, Xbox was the
It's not-
shit, and
it's
I had
not
my,
even close.
my shit was all modded out, so like I didn't even need
When
disc for
PlayStation
my
2,
shit. So
Xbox 360.
my dad's homie, he worked in a
PlayStation
computer
4.
store. He had a
PlayStation 3.
He fucking soldered a chip in there, so I could like burn games onto the hard drive, and I never.
shit.
So I would go to Blockbuster, rent games. Back when Blockbuster was a thing, rent games, go and burn them on my Xbox, and
Straight.
I was straight. I could play them shits whenever. So yeah, my Xbox was legit. And then the PlayStation 2 came out, or PlayStation 3, I think. Yeah, because I think we was on PS2 when the first Xbox came out. Yeah.
I've never been an Xbox guy. Like I played Xbox, but I've always
missed a
I've been
great
pretty.
era.
I've been pretty loyal to.
We don't miss
PlayStation.
that OG fat ass controller though.
Nah, it was.
No,
that first Xbox
that
controller?
360 era
Fuck,
is
yo.
different though. That
Yeah.
360 era
That
is
was
The
different.
only thing that I will say about Xbox is the one game that they had that they didn't have for PlayStation 2 was Left 4 Dead, and I fucking that's the
Halo.
Halo. I mean, Halo was fun. but
Halo
like,
is legit.
But I never really was into
Gears?
shooter games like that.
I'm not
I was
into
never
Gears.
good into.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
like it never really. But like Left 4 Dead, greatest zombie game ever of all time.
Nah. Have you ever played Last of Us?
Yes.
You-
And that-
you like Left 4
I
Dead
think-
better than Last
I
of
like
Us?
it. I like Last of Us for like the
story.
The
The story of
exactly,
Last
the,
of Us.
the
I
cinematic
understood.
shit and the fucking storyline. But like Left 4 Dead for just straight going, killing zombies and fucking
All
shit
right.
up. Left 4 Dead is the shit.
Agreed. I understand that. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I love the
Black
story of
Ops.
Last of Us.
I was
Oh,
literally
bro.
about
But
to
you had
say
that
it,
on
like,
PlayStation, so
You said greatest zombie game.
Oh yeah, I agree though, dude. I can't get. I still go back to that Black Ops and play
What
that
are we
shit,
talking
you know?
about?
no, Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead.
You've
I'm
never
sorry.
been to fucking round 48.
No, I've been. Listen. Shout out to Abner. Shout out to Abner. He's been on the podcast before. But me and him were fucking like when
Level 40.
Black Ops was first coming out. Like that's my
Shit's
dog.
wild.
I've known him since 4th grade. But he would either come over to my house, I'll go to his house, and we would just fucking go rounds
It's not
on
even
fucking
about
zombies.
It's not even about zombies. The multiplayer, like that was cool. The satisfaction you got from beating the game and the last level being zombies in the wherever they were, the Pentagon or wherever that was.
Or near the Reese or whatever the fuck it was.
That like
It's
nothing
different.
beats that. Like
It's different.
you finally finished this game because that was like at our age, like that was a big game to beat, and like
Real shit. Well, really, the Modern Warfare.
JFK and Fidel Castro were
Modern
fighting
Warfare.
zombies.
That shit was fucking funny.
I forgot.
But Modern Warfare, that trilogy was fucking.
I was never a Modern Warfare guy. I
That was
like
a
the World
game
War
changer,
II.
bro.
Modern Warfare 2 was fire, bro. That online.
No,
Modern
they're
Warfare
dope.
2
They're dope.
online multiplayer was legit.
They're
bro.
dope. They're dope. But the for me, like I fell in love with the ones before the World War II ones.
Bro, I love how World War II starts. The Call of Duty World War II. I love it. You start on a ship.
Yeah, Call of Duty period is like
World
one
at
of the-
War. I think that's Vietnam.
Call of Duty is one of the best games ever made.
Agreed. Yeah. It's the only game I
They
still
got a little
consistently
lazy.
play.
They did later on, but like originally, bro.
Yeah,
that shit was
but
wild.
again,
And they had it
complacency. When
anywhere.
you get successful, the
Yeah,
complacency.
you're the best first-person shooter for 20.
And that's why y'all had a fuck ton of hackers on your fucking multiplayer lobby.
There
So
you go.
y'all need to
I
fix
used to
that
love
shit.
that
Throw
though.
the
Like,
shade, throw the
paintball would
shade.
come at me.
Fucking Call of Duty, fix that shit. You know? So yeah, but that's the only game I consistently play all the time. Like even the sports games, bro. I go back to Madden or 2K. It's like 2K I can only play on strings of a few weeks, and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm tired of this shit.
2K is
Plus my player be sucking at the beginning so bad.
I like playing association or franchise. Like on Madden, it's franchise. I don't know if they changed it now, but on 2K, it's the association. You're pretty much the general manager, so you're making all the moves. You can play the games and shit.
Yeah,
like,
I love when they brought
that's
that
a-
aspect into
yeah,
it.
that-
It's cool.
That game changer's coming next year though.
The my player
Once
shit
that
I never really
NCAA
got
comes
into.
out,
Ooh.
Bro.
next year that's
Yes,
gonna
sir.
be different.
Yes,
Bro,
sir.
They got an NCAA coming out?
2023.
They haven't did that in
The
a
NIL shit.
you're talking about for football, though, right?
Yeah,
That's
real
what's
kids,
up.
real names in the game.
That's
Name,
what it
image,
is.
and likeness. Because before you would have to go to like the fucking files and download the fucking files or just rename
Yeah,
it
you had to
yourself.
know somebody that like had
Yeah,
them.
So
or
are they
just
getting-
rename everything yourself, and that took a fucking.
Are they getting
long
paid for
ass
this?
time.
Do you know?
Hell, I mean, if
I
their
hope
na-
these fuck-
if their names are on there, they got to get paid for it.
They're
I'm
getting paid.
I remember when I was in college, I
gonna pay
did a whole paper in my English 2 class about the NCAA and big business and how they're a $1 billion industry and making so much money and these players don't see shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. It's a fucked up industry, man.
I mean, to that point though,
Still.
it was fucked up. It is still fucked up, but I feel like people kind of blew it out of proportion a little bit in the sense of like it's not like these kids are going fucking like it's not like they're sleeping in the fucking streets and like the facilities and shit. And I'm all for paying the players and shit. Like by all means, if you can make money off your name and shit like that, by all fucking means, cash in and do what the fuck you got to do. Like I'm all for it. But the fact that I feel like people were making it seem like these kids were fucking going hungry and broke and not doing shit and nothing. It's like if you see some of these facilities, they got barbershops in that shit. They got weightlifting. They got player lounges and shit like that. They got their own little fucking corner of the campus.
Yeah, no, you're
So
right.
it's like
But not all of them do either.
And you're right,
And not
you're
everybody's
right.
on full scholarship. Not everybody's on meal plans either.
For sure.
You know
And
what I'm
that's-
saying? So it makes it more difficult. There should be like a structure around. If you're a
For
college
sure.
athlete, you should be afforded so many amenities, no matter what.
For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
And
For
some
sure.
people think we're in the bubble now because now colleges are going so extreme. Like I saw University of Texas, every scholarship offensive lineman is
get
getting
$50,000.
$50,000
If you're on
a
scholarship
year.
and you're an offensive lineman, you get minimum $50,000. If you're
For
a
D1?
starter, if
For
you're a
D1?
back,
If
for
you're just on scholarship
the
at University of Texas.
University of Texas. So if you're on scholarship,
That's what's
whether
up,
you're
though. Get
starting,
that shit, yo.
yeah, for sure.
I'm for it. And then Alabama, like they
Still
partnered
alive?
up with I don't know who the car
You are
dealership
still
is.
alive. Jesus.
I don't know if it's Acura or Mercedes Benz or Honda or
Get off live.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm listening, bro.
Alabama partnered up with a car dealership, so every kid on Alabama's football team got a car at the beginning.
That's
of
what's
season.
up, bro.
But there's a bubble, and when is it gonna burst? Because like the coaching pay scale bubble has to come to an end soon.
I mean, if we can give rich athletes who already have money and can afford cars, we can give them free shit. Let's give these athletes who are making these organizations, these colleges, so much more money and making them so much better.
I'm with you, but
let's give them some free stuff.
It's gonna pop soon.
I mean, good.
Well,
I kind of think that's gonna cut out who's gonna.
I feel like in the next couple of years, because I mean, these first couple of years is going to be the Wild West. Like it's going to be.
I mean, you saw the rumored for the number one player in the country.
Oh yeah.
$2.3 million and a $700,000 house. Like,
yeah. Justin Hunter?
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. So he was
allegedly
the number one recruit. Yeah. So this is all speculation, and there's no like facts, like real facts, pointing that this is real. But he was the number one recruit in the country. Was signed, or he was committed to FSU. Switched his commitment to Jackson State, where Deion Sanders is playing. Deion Sanders works with, or coaching. My bad, I said playing. Coaching. He probably could still play with those kids. But anyways, where he has a what's it called? He works with Barstool. He has his own little fucking podcast and all that shit and all that. So people are saying that Barstool paid the recruit $2.3 million. And gave him a house so that he can go to Jackson State.
Yeah, I had seen that video. I was wondering.
It's all speculation.
That was Deion Sanders too?
Yeah, it's all speculations. But
Deion has denied it.
He's denied it. But the strings, they connect. Whether it's true or not, who gives a shit at this point? Yeah. Like money at this point, the first 2-3 years of this NIL deal is going to be a wild, wild west. It's going to be who can shell out the most cash and shit like that. And then once they do it for a couple 2-3 years, then they can start putting regulations and this, that, whatever, and maybe I feel like at some point they're going to have to put a salary cap on.
Yeah.
And
they can't just fucking be like.
There's definitely be a salary cap.
Let's take a step back and make sure that we're being clear. If you thought any player in the previous 10 years was going to these schools for free, you are kidding yourselves.
Well, these kids have been. No, we're absolutely not.
These kids have been getting paid
and paid for years.
And from what people are saying, if people are willing to give out this money, then I believe that the number has been absurd for other players.
I totally agree. I just think there should be a standard, and every college athlete, if you're playing at a certain level, D1, D2, there should be tiers to it.
I agree, but then that has to come from the NCAA.
It should, absolutely.
So what's getting lost? Not to get on this soapbox real quick, but like what's getting lost on people with the NIL is that these kids are not getting paid by their institutions.
Right.
Do not certain schools are making sure that every player is getting taken care of.
My boy. Go on.
Jacob, shut the hell up. We're talking.
I'm talking too. To a bunch of
y'all. Get off the mic if you're going to talk.
The University of Alabama, University of Texas, schools like that can take care of every single player.
And to that point.
Until the NCAA comes out and says profit from your school has to go to the players, you're not going to see the kids at the lower D1s getting paid.
Yeah. And to that point too, I forget who I was listening to, but they were worried about that, like the bigger schools are going to it's just going to be a complete robbery and shit like that, and none of these smaller schools.
It's going to be.
Never will.
No, because the same 10 power programs have been getting all the 5-star recruits.
It's even less
like
now.
That, and like
for sure.
I don't feel like it's gonna. There might be again in these next 2-3 years. I feel like there might be a slight change, and there might be a slight like overhaul in these bigger schools, bigger programs, getting the 5-star, 4-star kids and shit. But once regulations are getting put out and all that shit, I feel like it will start evening out and leveling off and shit like that. And we're gonna still see the same type of parity, which is not much in college football, which is the Alabamas, the Texas, the Georgias, the fucking Clemsons, all the big tier programs, Michigans, Ohio States.
They'll be paying.
They're gonna, of course, but they're gonna be the same teams winning national championships that were winning national champions 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So, I mean, it's going to be
a bigger program.
The next 2-3 years are going to be wild. Are going to be insane. You're going to see fucking numbers coming out.
Georgia and Alabama are going to stockpile over the next year. And Texas A&M. Are going to stockpile talent over the next 2 years.
Like your favorite line, Bogan, Schmunge, and Smuns.
Bogan, Schmunz, and
They got
Smuns.
I'm going to start saying that now.
Hey,
I don't even know what it means or any of that.
Just
the law firm Bogan,
Munz and Munz.
Yeah, if you guys are listening to this, hook a brother up. But yeah, Bogan, Schmunz,
local
and Schmunz.
ad too. Get that.
Shmoney.
Get on that Shmoney ad, dude. We get some listeners on there. We get some people.
Let's hope so. Fuck, we're trying to make this shit blow up.
So I got my boy John over here says it's destroying college sports.
John don't know what he's talking about.
Destroying?
What? Paying players is
John,
destroying
you think paying players is destroying them?
He don't know what he's talking about. It's not destroying shit. I mean, in this day and age,
get paid.
To your point, it's not like these players were not getting fucking paid anyways.
So what you got,
they made
the veil has just been lifted.
They made a whole 30 for 30, the Pony Excess. They made a whole 30 for 30 of it.
Eric Dickerson said I took a pay cut to go to the NFL.
Like, it's not like money has not been.
That?
Eric running Dickerson, back for the SMU said I took a pay
Eric
cut
Dickerson, he's an NFL Hall of Famer. He, of course, but like, it's like, so this shit has been going on. It's just, to your point, it's just raising up the curtain on this shit. Like, now we just know, like, it's to the public eye now. We see this shit.
It's on the books.
These
kids are going to have to pay taxes.
At some point, like I said, they're going to put some type of regulation on it at some point.
Should. I mean, if they're
going to make a salary cap.
Well.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have to pay this taxes. Yeah. Like, hopefully, Travis Hunter and these kids know that this. Like, that receipt is coming at the end of the year. Like,
you better save some money because
and he's not even
some shit back.
He's not even the kid who got paid the most. The transfer from Ohio State, the Quinn Rivers kid.
Yeah,
he got paid
to Texas, right?
$4 million to go back home.
That's Eric.
Turn up.
All I'm saying is pay these kids,
Ryan,
man.
hashtag man bud madness.
Man, bro, I'm letting.
He's not even. Yeah, he's not even in the man bun today. He's not in full ninja.
Bro, I got my hat on right now. I'm getting one last shape up for the end of the year, and then starting next year, it's a whole new hairstyle. Growing my shit out. So
there you go.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about like
future Eric. I told you.
Yeah.
I tried to say it.
I should have brought the DJ equipment. I thought about bringing it too, bro.
Listen,
I didn't know it was like this.
Listen, I'm gonna have to come over to you where you're at and fucking see what you got going on.
Nah, come back down here again, bro. There ain't shit over on my side of town. I live in Deltona. If anybody,
that's perfect though, because then little distractions. Fuck it. I just want to not for nothing. Like, it's just kind of like having that. And, if I'm jumping the gun a little bit, let me know. But kind of that mentorship a little bit.
Please, bro. If it wasn't for... Shout out to my boy Justin Taylor. That's JTaylor808 on Instagram, man. If it wasn't for him, he's a DJ. He's been DJing around Florida and around the country for years. He's kind of settled in down here in Orlando. He used to DJ in Denver. But if it wasn't for him giving me my first opportunity to DJ in these bars and nightclubs and, kind of mentoring me into it and being very nice about it, I probably wouldn't be doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I try to help other people out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, anytime.
But that, again, like, I just, like, and for me at least, like, I learn better when I see it, when I'm experiencing it firsthand and shit like that. So, like, I definitely want to, like, at some point go up there in the next couple weeks, whenever you're not busy, go up there, see what you got going on, shit like that, fucking take it in. I'm going to be getting equipment here soon and setting up my own little area in my new place. So it's like, that's, it's the first step. Thank you.
Let's do it, bro. First thing I would tell you, get a hard drive, bro. I don't know if I told you this, but get a hard drive and I'll hook you up with music.
Word.
Legally, kind of.
Yeah, you did tell me about that. That fucking where you have to sign up. It's like $10.
Yeah, they're DJ pools. I pay like $110 for the 3 DJ pools I'm a part of.
It's the flex for music.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually LimeWire, but you actually got to pay for it. No, it's not LimeWire. It's like I'm a part of BPM Supreme, DJ City, and Club Killers. If you look them up, they're all .com websites, so you can
hard drive shopping.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll hook you up, man. If it wasn't for, like I said, if it wasn't for other people helping me out, getting started in the career, it wouldn't be grown into what it's done. So I'd love to help people out. There's other people I help out as well, man. So we have to come in here and fucking just DJ though, bring the shit up though.
Real shit.
Make Jacob's ass play with it, Phil. Give him the mic. He'd be funny on the mic. Nah, bro. I'm gonna have to throw an event and put Jacob on the mic.
Don't let Jacob touch equipment.
We're gonna put Jacob on the mic.
Look at him. He's over here struggling right now.
I'm holding my own mic.
Bro, he hasn't even been doing anything. Look at that shit's coming apart.
It's in there.
Fuck,
nah, bro. I just need a hype, man. You ain't got to worry about no equipment or nothing. Just carry on a wireless mic and talk shit on it. That's it.
Easy.
We got that. I got the sound effects though. Don't do that. I can do all that shit. We just need you talking shit. Say some crazy stuff to the women. Bro, if y'all ever come out, Jacksonville's such a good time, man. Like,
my dad lives up there.
Knight's Library, though. Next time I'm in Knight's Library, I gotta have y'all come out.
No, you don't.
Bro, yes, y'all do, because we're on stage and we ain't gotta deal with nobody, yo. Yeah, Knight's Library, yo. Shout out Jamie Go Hammy, yo.
Hey,
I hope you getting paid, but I ain't going.
Come on, bro. Why not? Why not? It would happen. What's the worst thing to happen at the library?
He'll catch a case. That's what happens.
Bro, I know everybody has a bad story about the Knight's Library. Everybody has a bad story about that motherfucker.
Fuck. Well, fuck. This was a fucking fun time.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all having me out for real, man.
Fucking all over the place.
Yeah, bro. But that's exactly how I don't, like I said, man. I like the podcast, man, and I have my informative podcasts I listen to as well, but my favorite ones are the ones where they just kick the shit. And sometimes I gotta wait to hear more shit. I was like, man, y'all started elaborating on this, but didn't start didn't keep on going, or it started touching base, but then elaborate more on the subject, and I wanted y'all to touch more.
We'll follow back. If you guys listen, which I mean, I hope we have a lot of loyal listeners. You'll notice that we'll start falling back on. Oh yeah, we talked about this on this past episode, and then we'll go into like a little fucking 20-minute fucking.
They're all
spiel
kind of
on
connected.
That shit. Yeah. I mean, it's our life. I mean, essentially, this is our life. You know, you're seeing us grow on camera, in person, you know, week to week and shit like that. So, you know, this, I mean, it's a labor of love. It's growing pains, but it's, you know, it's a fun time for sure.
This is my life,
man. Just to think y'all made it past the 100 episodes though. Yeah, and y'all been for doing this. I look back and I was like, man, y'all been doing this for a few years now.
This is
and I showed you before. Yeah, I showed you before. You know, from where we started. You know, as far as logos, as far as, like, you know, what our setup was, you know, to where we're at right now. So, I mean, there's definitely growth and, you know, progression in this. And that's, you know, out of everything, that's the one thing that I wanted to get from this is that, you know, we grow as people, we grow as a group, we grow as friends, and, you know, take this thing as far as, you know, we want to take it. So.
Right. Yeah, and there's growth in it, man. That's the beauty of the you know, social media and internet nowadays. Networking. We could do that. So.
Joe, what you doing?
Networking sucks sometimes, but it's a necessary evil you have to do as well if you want to get out there.
Real shit.
If you want to put your whatever you're doing, whatever you're creating in front of people, you got to network with people. You know, and I hate it sometimes, but I still do it. You know what I mean?
Networking I'm pretty good at.
It comes naturally to you. But with all that being said, 121 of the No Hangover podcast.
Eric, Jacob, Dennis, I appreciate y'all having me, man. For real, I really enjoyed it, man. It was a good time. You have a good setup here.
Plug yourself one more time.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all can follow me on all social medias at DJ Tone Capone. On Twitter, that's DJ _Tone Capone. For mixes and new updates, man, definitely follow my IG. It's the only one I'm most active on. Snapchat, I'm most toxic on, so don't hit me up on there because you'll definitely get some toxic snaps from me, especially if I'm drunk at 2 a.m.
What you doing, baby?
Like, I'm just leaving the club. Girls, where you at?
I know.
So, yeah, stay away from me on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as well. Besides that, though, I got nothing else, man.
Word.
You know, just look out for me, man. Hopefully y'all will hear me and I'll get bigger. Like, this is all still new for me as far as trying to do this as a career full time, you know. So like now that we're navigating into this time where we're off of the pandemic, hopefully now we got this whole other variant, whatever. But things ain't shut down for me. I'm trying to move into the next steps of growing my career. Which is probably gonna be producing. So I'm still gonna be DJing as well, but hopefully I'm gonna start creating music to put out there for you guys. As far as like house music and shit like that, you know, so to try to grow my career to the next level. So,
Word. Well, thank you, Tony, for coming through. Sure. As always, you can check us out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Check us out on Instagram at No Hangover Podcast. That's where we post when we put new episodes up. We're going to start posting snippets on there again soon, so catch those on there. For any business inquiries or if you want to get on the show, any merch, anything like that, you can hit us up on there. And also check us out at nohangoverpodcast.com. That's where the merch is if you want to get shirts, phone cases, bags, socks, hoodies, any of that shit. There's a lot more on there that I didn't mention. Go ahead, check it out on there.
Or just DM us, like I said, on the Instagram. Hit us up on Instagram.
That's the best place to get
We got your shirt orders right here.
Indeed.
In stock.
Shout out to the boys. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for real, man.
Thank you.
This has been lit, man. I liked it, for real.
Real shit.
Jacob, Eric, y'all are the man.
And as always, everybody love everybody, and we'll see y'all next week.
One last plug. Since it's the holidays, I'll be at Shimshan Room in Jacksonville on Christmas and on New Year's. I just like to plug Jacksonville because that's my favorite spot to DJ so far.
Turn up. Shout out to Jacksonville.
That's Shimshan Room in Jax Beach. If you're out there, we'll be doing Christmas and New Year's there. So enjoy yourselves and make sure y'all are safe. Just get home safe.
Real shit. Happy New Year's. See y'all later.
Appreciate y'all.
Happy